Okay, somehow he survived that.
Spare us your quiddities.
Yeah, but he's a...
A traitor, I know. Stay here and fight if you want. If you can walk, let's go.
You're taking him with us?
We could use another sword arm.
And you have it.
Yep, we know that guy's Bosch. Ah, yes, this is the Barheim Passage. I remember this place. Don't remember this room of it, though. And we're actually a little low on health, too. So, Bosch, level 9, and does he even have any... I can't even change his equipment at all. So I'm guessing that he's going to stay shirtless for this whole area, but we can't choose licenses with him. But yes, give me that. So, yeah, there are multiple quickening licenses on the board. You can get 3 of them, and you basically get quickenings in order. So once you get Fires of War, the remaining quickening licenses will change to your 2nd level quickening, and then to your 3rd level quickening. Where even are the other quickening licenses on Balthea's board? Oh yeah, there, for example. So once I grab this, we can now perform quickenings under the Mist command in the battle menu. This is completely different to how quickenings work, and see, this has changed into Tides of Fate now, how quickenings worked in the PS2 version. So I guess I'll explain that once we're in a battle, but for Vaan, I kind of want to go for plus 30 when I could go for that, but on the other hand, yeah, what is the fastest path? I guess I'll get this. And I'll start heading towards Red Spiral, which, you know, as you can see, is another quickening. And Fran, go ahead and cast Cure on Vaan right now, because he needs it. He was kind of dumb back there. Yeah, we're not going to turn down an extra ally, basically. Looks like we even have a shop in here. And, of course, a save point. So, yeah, they're pretty generous with these save points. I know... Wow, that's a lot of gil. I know that in this dungeon in particular, this is the first point where you start needing to be very careful of treasure chests. Not exactly very careful, but you'll see. I probably already spoiled what I was alluding to there, but yeah. Actually, in this version I can actually switch to controlling Barsh. What does Barsh have? No targets available. He doesn't have any techniques. Time-worn device. Yeah, I had a feeling. It is time-worn after all. Okay. Interesting. So they have vaguely electricity in this universe. Oh, I probably shouldn't have used, like, all those potions because I could have just healed the save crystal, but oh well. So... there's a shop down here too. I remember this area, I think, actually has a gimmick involving the lighting and those kind of switches. So there's a gate switchboard here, which is covered with rust. Power's been cut. Okay then. Yeah, I had a feeling. So, what do you sell? Oh, okay, we can get extra weapons out of this. Of course, a whole bunch of these are things that nobody can use, except we can finally upgrade Vaan's dagger. Yeah, that massive increase in, yeah, let's equip that. And yeah, it is silence. I thought it would inflict silence. Fran could use that, but that gets rid of her range capability. And it does magic damage instead of physical. But yeah, like that increase in power on Balthea is a bit deceptive, because his guns still ignore defenses. rods, oak staff, broadsword, that's a katana, not a ninja sword, javelin. Yeah, they sell quite a lot of things to compensate for the fact that you're, that you could have quite a variety of light. Like, how the heck do you get this much? Like, do you either, like, barter with the guards, or do you just take stuff off of dead prisoners? Well, everyone can use that for a bit of an improvement. Might as well. Actually, derp, yep, nobody here can use that lever. I should have paid more attention to the character portraits. That was really stupid, so yeah. Okay, now all three of them have that. I like that you can equip it on all of them. Oh, those two could use head guards. Half damage, dark, immune, blind. Some people are pretty close to accessories 3. I may as well take one of those. Aha, there are some more, magic we can get. Oh, and, oh, we can finally buy Gambits now. Okay, there's a whole lot of these. They're really cheap, too. I kind of want to grab some of these, but there's also some spells, which I'll probably need Thunder at some point. And I should probably grab that, too. Immobilize. Time Magic 1. Immobilize, I don't think is actually that great, because it just stops things from moving, but it doesn't stop them from attacking. Wow, we really can't buy self... I can't use self until we buy it, okay. And that's every single Gambit this guy had bought. I have a whole lot of loot that I can sell as well. Plus a second Altair that I probably don't need. Okay, that loot was not worth nearly as much as I thought it would be. Doesn't look like there's anything new available at the bazaar either. Okay, so you actually are getting your supplies from somewhere. Good to know. I should probably start setting some of my Gambits too. What does Barsh's Gambits? Party leader's target, okay. Okay, so what I have for Gambits right now is this on Varn. Swapped around that order on Balthier. Fran I have casting Dark, but also as an emergency healer. And Barsh I've actually got a few Gambits set up. I've got his defaults, and then I also have targeting leader and highest max HP. I think I'll start on party leader's target for now. And now, let's finally fix this thing. Oh, there's a charge meter. Yeah, I know this dungeon has some kind of gimmick like this, and I think it does change the way enemies behave as well. Like, there are some enemies that only show up when the lights are on, and some that only appear when the lights are off, I think. Again, it's been a while since I played this, but I do quite clearly remember this dungeon. This is another dungeon that has an optional boss in it, but, oh, and it looks like opening the gate consumed the charge. And yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking. Okay, I like how they're, like, I can't believe I forgot about this, but I like how this dungeon has its own unique kind of gimmick to it. To remind me a little bit of the light-dark based gimmick of the... Also, speaking of the gimmick, yes, there are enemies here that eat the electricity.
Hey, who turned out the lights? One of those?
I've heard of these. Mimics. They disguise themselves as all manner of things, then strike when you're least wary. Some of them have a fondness for energy, I'm told. They gorge themselves on the stuff till there's naught left.
So, what happens then?
Varn, you're not exactly that smart, are you?
Lights out, and it's worse in the dark. Much worse. So, let them get too close to one of those conduits, and they'll suck it dry. But don't worry, it'll give the energy back if you ask nicely. Sticking it with a sword helps too. Clock's ticking.
I was about to say ask nicely by stabbing it with a sword, but he said that for me. Balthier is just, like, seriously, why is Balthier not in Dissidia Final Fantasy at this point? Oh, we have Thunder now. Although I get the feeling these things are not weak to Thunder by any stretch of the imagination. Should I target the zombie, or should I go for... I'll go for the one draining the conduit first. And yeah, they heal themselves by going after the energy conduit. I'm going to turn Balthier's Gambits off so he's not going on autopilot.
Yeah.
Okay, Dark should... yeah, Dark's not doing as much now, so I should probably... Oh, and it can discharge too. Yeah, maybe I should actually have Fran weak to wind. Okay, then. Maybe I should have Fran focus more on fire than on Dark for now. Probably better to only have her use Dark when I actually want her to. For now, I'm just going to have her spam fire, since it looks like there aren't a lot of enemies in here that are yeah, immune to that. But, like, as you can tell, Balthier is introducing us to the Mimic gimmick. That sounds like a weird rhyme thing, but yeah. So I was alluding to this. So these things, they actually kind of look like chests when they're coiling all of their limbs together and standing still. I always thought that was kind of cool. Like, these are some of my favorite design mimics in any RPG, just because of, you know what, I'm gonna go for that one. Just because of the fact, like, they have a logical reason for mimicking treasure chests. I mean, that thing's probably gonna die quickly. Okay, Fran's MP is kind of low, but it does refill a little bit while we're walking. Oh, yep, something's feeding on an energy conduit. We still have to be very careful of these. Oh, this one's weak to ice, it seems. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if this is one of those games where like, in some games, ice and electricity are opposites, and in others, they're, I don't know if silence prevents you from using your, other thing. Okay, Fran is actually going through her MP much faster than I would have wanted her to. How many ethers do I have? Do I have any, like, at all? Only one ether. Yeesh. Okay, then. I mean, like, whoever was designing the chests in this universe and made them look like insects, that was probably not a good idea. Still, well, she's getting some MP back. And the charge is back, too. Like, again, actually kind of a nice idea for a dungeon gimmick. But sometimes you might want to actually let them feed on conduits so that you can... Unfortunately, there's no Gambit to tell your allies to attack things that are going after conduits specifically, but you can have them set to party leader's target and then have the party leader target the conduit enemy. Meanwhile, there's a Siki here that is using Nor. Oh, meanwhile, Barsh is, like, super critical, but I think somebody just healed him. Yeah, Battery Mimic. Obviously, we want to target the Battery Mimics first. Oh, and they heal off of eating the energy conduit, too. Yes, and they can also discharge. Yeah, this is about the point where things start getting a little bit more complicated when it comes to combat. Please kill that thing now. Okay, there we go. So after this, I'm going to switch over some of my Gambits to Party Leader's target. Okay, Vaughn's using some potion Gambits. That's nice, but it is going to run through our supply of potions pretty quickly. Wow, this thing is being surprisingly durable. Yeah, like over 500 HP for just a random bat. Oh, Leech. Yeah, that's like a... Basically Leech Life, which I think is actually called Suck Blood in the Japanese Pokemon games, which kind of makes sense as to why it's very powerful in Stormstone. Must be a better Windstone. In Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yeah, I remember this area now. There's all these sort of minecart tracks. We don't have a map for this place either. There's a tiny Mimic there, which is aggressive. And seems to have a yellow name too, so it's somewhat strong. And I think we've lost Mika. Hey, Balthier and Fran, I think, leveled up at the same time. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually going to go and switch some of my Gambits over to Party Leader's target. Which Vaughn already is on, which is good. And Barsh is on too, okay. For now, I'm going to put you on Party Leader's target, just because I really want to make sure that we take out the Battery Mimics as quickly as possible. Because again, there's no, like, foe eating electrical cables. That's a big Mimic. Battery Mimic B. I think, like, there are some areas where the enemy names can go all the way up to Z. I think I've actually seen that before. Yeah, see, with Party Leader's target on, well, I mean, this is the only viable target, but still. Goes down much faster. Yeah, I'll probably get some more Gambit slots a bit later. They're more useful when you have access to more Gambits and things like that. And this thing's going down fairly quickly when it's the only enemy present on the field. Of course, you know. Oh, it looks like Barsh is just punching things. And that looks like a map chest down there, so I'll need to make sure to get that. Yeah, it would make sense for them to take away Barsh's weapons. So yes, Farn's outburst against Barsh earlier, I kind of admit it didn't sound the greatest in terms of voice acting, and one thing that I was actually kind of thinking about recently is that I almost wonder if Farn would have been better received as a character if Yuri Lowenthal voiced him and not his brother. It's just kind of interesting thinking about how, just like back in the day, some of these voice actors weren't as well known as they were now. Like, they wouldn't have known how famous Yuri Lowenthal would eventually become, and in hindsight, it probably makes sense to, where was that chest, actually? Like, in hindsight, it probably makes sense to, that Battery Mimic. I should also probably have Bolfia stay away from the enemies because he's, you know, using a gun. What? Where are you going? I don't like the fact that you're running away. You're probably trying to get help. Okay, let's target this thing instead. No, it's running to feed on an energy conduit. I thought it was doing that. Yeah, they wouldn't have known that Yuri Lowenthal would go on to become as famous of a name in voice acting as he did. Because this was kind of before. I don't know if he was probably doing Ben 10 at this point. So he would have been decently a big name at least. I know that Troy Baker really got his big break with Kanji in Persona 4, and then Yuri Lowenthal, ironically, not voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, in Tales of, yeah, I should probably stay away from that discharge, in Tales of Vesperia. Oh man, you guys are annoying. And Fran has no MP, and because of that, she's not doing anything because of her Gambits currently set. This is where having a third Gambit to prioritize attack when all of your, like, other Gambits don't work, like, say, you know, you're out of MP, this is where that becomes very useful. So, yeah, a third Gambit slot would kind of help, at a time like this. But another voice actor in this game who was kind of a bit of a case of, as TV tropes would call it, retroactive recognition, Vossler, who was kind of Barsh's ally in the prologue, he's voiced by Nolan North, and this was also before Nolan North really broke into voice acting. In terms of Varn himself, his voice actor really hasn't played anyone except Varn in, like, later appearances and in Dissidia. So, yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know if he's exactly the best voice actor, but Bolfir is great. Like, Gideon Emery's Bolfir is amazing, and I think Barsh does a really good job too. Is Barsh? Dang it, I forgot the name of his voice actor for now, but like, I want to say it's Keith Ferguson. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, we also have that guy, the judge, whose name we don't actually know yet, so I can't say it. But so they actually got famous British stage actors to play all of the judges. So if you look them up on Behind the Voice Actors, most of them haven't really been in much other than this game, but they all have a lot of acting experience. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, obviously the maps are always in this kind of chest. We also have a fail of eye drops. Okay, so let's see. There's a suspiciously round room at the end of this place. I wonder what that means. I always love suspiciously round rooms in games. Slowly regaining that that MP. So do I have enough mist to... Nope, I don't even have my rank 1 quickening, so I can't actually talk about that yet. Not even really, like, charging it all that much. Hang on a minute. I just thought of something. I have a feeling that the Goddess's Magicite that I'm equipping stops mischarge, because that's the only way to explain why I don't have any miss right now. Not you. Because yeah, it would have stopped you from using Quickenings in the original game as well, given how they worked in that game. Okay, so question is, do I gain Mischarge now? I guess we'll find out. Also, all of us are actually quite low on health, so I'll need to watch out for that. I believe this does... Yes, like, as you can see, there's a bit of a meter building up below Balthea's name. So, obviously, yes, that was actually stopping Mischarge, which makes sense with the lore, but we'll find that out later. Now, is this a Mimic? Nope, it's a Tuft of Phoenix Down. That bat kind of vanished. No, it's still there. Okay, that just kind of leads onward. I guess the exclamation marks on the map represent the conduits. Still have 100% charge right now. Even though it is somewhat tempting to go for, Joyous Sound Wave. That doesn't actually sound good, despite its name. It's probably some kind of confusion attack. Wait, somebody is attacking... Oh, there's a Mimic there. Okay. Should also probably Libra just so I can get more info on these things. Yeah, again, like, I really like the design of the Mimics. But it's probably going to heal at least a little bit before I get a chance to really... Especially since Varn just potioned instead of attacking there. Okay, yeah, Barsh does not do much damage at all. Please, thank you. There we go. Pile of iron scraps. Okay, so we can either go forward or we can go into a little disconnected side area. RPG logic tells me to check the disconnected side areas first. Oh, I have a feeling, yeah, I know what this place is. I get the feeling there's going to be like a bajillion of these battery mimics in here. Fire's really not doing much to them. I wonder if Thunder will actually do well. I mean, they probably drain Thunder considering what's happening here. And Fran is currently doing nothing because of... Yeah, I should probably set her to stop using magic right now. Got a random block on Balthea there. Just finish this thing off. Or at least attempts to. Gotta check how many potions we have, because obviously I want to save some of them. At least Discharge can't, like, paralyze you or anything. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm gonna... Yeah, because Fran's being dumb right now, because she has no third Gambit slot to remember to attack after her MP is out. I guess I could set a Gambit, like, self-MP less than something and then attack. That could help. Oh, we have another Baron Mimic in here. But, I mean, we've got a lot of charge. The energy conduit's, gonna last for quite a while. After this thing is done, though, I'm gonna have somebody Libra. There we go. Okay. So, somebody please Libra. And that would be Varn. Oh, he's still potioning right now. Okay, Battery Mimic is doing stuff. Okay, so, Gambit's Fran. You know, I just realized, though, if I did self-MP, less than 30% attack, she'd actually punch herself in the face every time her MP was less than 30%, so... yeah, guess that's a downside of it. Like, I can't say self-MP less than that, attack nearest enemy, because that would be a bit too complicated. But there are a lot of things you can do with this system. Crit that didn't really matter at all. Okay, down here, there doesn't really seem to be that much going on, except just a bunch more mimics. So again, I do remember there being an optional boss in this place, but you need to have, like, a key from a side quest to open up a special area of this place. Okay, an ether, that's useful for Fran. Is that gonna be a mimic? Battle harness. Guessing that's armor. No? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's an accessory. When attacked, automatically counter with weapon in hand. Accessories 4. Again, we've got a lot of people close to those higher levels of accessories, so might want to just wait a little bit before I start spending LP. Because we have a little bit more to go of this area. maybe I'll do that before we get to the boss. Also, I feel like the boss might be a... Well, I just swore there's a boss in here, but there's a big circular room at the end of this place. Of course there's a boss here. That bat just parried something. Okay, that might... See, none of these have actually been mimics yet. That one wasn't either, but it was pretty much no gill. At least we got a battle harness for going that way. Is Bolthia full-on mist right now? I believe he is. I mean, I guess there's no point in not doing that, because, I mean, I'll obviously get my mist back before I reach the boss, so I guess I can talk about how those things work. Especially since that's a relatively bulky enemy. Okay, then. So I think this should pretty much speak for itself.
I never miss.
My regards.
So you might notice that time's up there. Well, we can't really do much with that at this point. If we had other people who had quickenings, which it seems like Barsh might, but I'm not really sure if he just healed off most of the damage he took there, so that was a bit of a waste. I didn't realize there'd be an energy conduit all the way over here, but he should go down soon. So, Quickenings. They're basically super moves, although their damage, from what I've seen of the wiki, is very random. Now we need to find a switch. And you can chain them together if multiple characters have Quickenings. So, in Zodiac Age, they work very, very, very differently from the way they do in the PS2 version. In the PS2 version, Quickenings used up your MP. Even guns don't do much of these things, but it makes perfect sense because, you know, guns, not exactly the best against a giant blob. But anyway, back to what I was saying about Quickenings. So they actually use your MP. They cost all of your MP to cast. Well, not so much cast, because they're actually non-elemental, even though some of them look like they're very elemental. Like, you'll see some later on in the game that look extremely elemental, but they're actually not. Barsh is just uselessly wailing on this thing. Yeah, so they would cost all of your MP to use, and the more Quickenings you had, the more bars of MP you gained. So, getting, I believe it was the second Quickening that gave you a second MP bar that had exactly the same amount as your first MP bar, so you basically had double MP, and then getting all your Quickenings would give you triple MP. So, Quickenings weren't useful, like, to get in the license board just for... If I'm not doing much damage, I may as well try and steal. Were not useful for getting just to have the Quickening, but also to increase your MP. In this version, though, they've changed it so that Quickenings use a separate mist meter that charges up via attacking and other actions. So it's more like a traditional super meter, so it's not really, like, as... I'm not sure which system is better, honestly. I like the fact that you had extra bars of MP in the original game when you got more Quickenings. And there was also a nice, like, element of, I wouldn't say risk versus reward, but when it came to, like, you know, using, like, choosing whether to use a Quickening or whether to use, like, to save your MP for magic, there was a lot of strategy in that, but in this version, they're totally separate, so you can spam as much, I like to think Bolthia just grabbed a handful of this thing's mass and shoved it in the jar there. But yeah, here you can just spam magic as much as you want and then still use Quickenings. It's probably a little more convenient overall, and it makes them maybe, like, I don't know, like, because I remember using them quite a bit in the original game, but mostly when you could chain them together. I've also, while I was in the menu, I turned off Varn's Potion Gambit, because I'm running a little bit low on potions right now. And I also realized I should probably go into... So like, in terms of those accessories that I have, slightly raises max HP. Okay, so I have half damage from ice and immune to poison and sap, and then I also have half damage dark, immune to blind. That's probably more useful, and also the battle harness. I said I'd do licenses later, but I believe Varn can actually, yes, he can get that battle harness right now. And then I could potentially get some of those other accessories on I can get the Argyle Armlet on Bolfia, maybe. Because I also realized that, wait, where is it? Yeah, Tides of Fate is up here, so Bolfia can get his second Quickening pretty easily. At least from where I am. You know what, I'm going to take an additional Gambit slot on Bolfia too. And meanwhile, I think Fran is going to grab Mace's 1. And then this so I can equip Silken Shirt. Because over here, eventually, we have, yeah, this thing, War Mage, which actually seems like it would be pretty useful. Oh, there's also Charge, that's kind of risky. I think over here there's, yeah, I already have a Mage's Habit for some reason. But that's going to take me a while to get to. At least you can take the Silken Shirt now. And you can take the Battle Harness for increased strength as well. Immune Blind. Or I can equip that for better HP on Bolfia. I'll take the blind immunity for now. You just feel like there'd be some kind of secret passage through some of those walls. But anyway, I think through here we're probably going to eventually run into the switch for that gate. I just realized I haven't actually been using the speed up button as much as I probably should be. Such as when fighting the battery mimics, which can take a little while. Of course, I've got to be a bit careful that our HP doesn't run too low while we're doing this. Like, for example, now, where we're all hurting quite badly. So, yes, use the speed up command at your own discretion. Because we don't really have anyone with Cure Magic besides Fran, and her MP is... Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to switch to controlling Fran. And that means I'll turn Bolfia's Gambits back on. Because she could really use being controlled by... oh, hi, Flan. Speaking of which, yeah, I wanted to control her because... that means I can make a bit smarter use of her magic. Of course, her Gambits are on right now, so I might as well turn those off while I'm controlling her. A little low in the HP department. Not a Mimic. Oh, actually got an Ether. Maybe I'll use that now, come to think of it. I only got 3 of these, but now that I have the MP up to full... Oh, it only heals 50. Usually in many of these games, Ethers heal... Oh, I'm just used to Kingdom Hearts again, where Ethers usually heal all of your MP. Or at least most of it. Don't think I need to worry about using magic on it again. I've healed up a little bit with potions, though I really need more of those. Okay, something's eating an energy conduit, and I'm guessing it's right at the end of this little corridor here, given the exclamation mark is flashing. Yep, there it is. Time to take you down, as Rex would say. As I was thinking, wait, couldn't I have bought Barsh a sword at the armory earlier? Then I was like, no, wait, you can't change guest equipment. So yeah, he's stuck with his bare hands in here. I mean, logically, he really shouldn't be. But I guess maybe it's just Vaughn doesn't want to give this guy a sword. That'd make sense. Potion. Surprisingly, none of these chests have been mimics in here. I thought this was like the first dungeon where chests started being mimics. Speaking of which, so I was saying before that, okay, now's a perfect time to use Dark, that I really like the design of the mimics in this game. I will say, the mimics in later dungeons do a really terrible job of disguising themselves as chests. Because, like, how it works is, yeah, I probably talked about this in another game that I played on the channel, but now I guess you finally get to see this one. Later on in the game, like, some of the higher, like, tiered varieties of mimics, they do stuff like, there was an exclamation mark, there we go. There's something here. Gate switchboard. Of course, it's going to cost some of our charge, but it'll hopefully be worth it, as it, you know, actually lets us progress. But yeah, some of the ones later on are like bright fluoro colors. So it's kind of dumb that like you see a treasure chest that looks like a stained glass window, and you're like, I wonder if that's a mimic or not. Another fail of green liquid. And now we're over here, and we've checked out that. We can pretty much safely just cut back to the gate, I think. So I'll see you there. Huh. That looks like a bomb. Don't remember there being bombs in here before. They're passive, though. Okay, let's Libra first. Yeah, I had a feeling they'd be weak to water. Should I even go for... Okay, I'm gonna try dark. Because bombs usually are more vulnerable to magic than they are to physical attacks. And in some FF games, bombs tend to die when they run out of MP, but I don't know if that's the case in this one. I think that bomb will quickly die. Yeah, they really like to cast fire, and there we go. And obviously they explode too. Really like how they look in HD though. So yeah, but like I said, I know there are some games where bombs die when they run out of MP, so you can use MP draining abilities on them like that. And here we are at the entrance to the next part of, I was about to call it the mines. It's not really a mine, it's a passage, but there's still a little bit to go. I'm not sure exactly how I'll be splitting up these parts, but I guess I'll see you next time if I choose to end this part here.